Hi, this is Harry Forbes from ARC Advisory Group. I'm at the 2014 ARC Orlando Forum. My guest is Peter Zornio, Chief Strategy Officer of Emerson Process Management. Peter, it's nice to see you. Thank you for coming to the forum.
Well, it's my pleasure, Harry. Great to see you again as well.
Peter, at this forum, we've heard an awful lot about simplifying the capital projects, especially automation pieces of capital projects. We've heard that message from ExxonMobil, we've heard it from Kraft, we've heard it from GM, we've heard it from other companies in a lot of industries. They need to simplify, and they need to do that through new technology. That's what they're telling their suppliers and their peers. What's Emerson's reaction to that?
Well, actually, in one of these interviews, I think in past years, I talked about our human-centered design initiative that we started about 7 years ago, which is directly in response to those kinds of demands from customers. And basically the premise there is just more technology for the sake of technology is really not what the customers are looking for. And that is the message you heard now, is we need usable technology. We need ways that technology takes out work and makes our life simpler. And some of the things that we've delivered since that time are actually some of the things that the ExxonMobil gentleman, Sandy Vassar, was talking about. So our electronic marshaling that we released in 2010 is really a direct result of some of those developments and thoughts around how do we make wiring easier, how do we make bringing signals in the control system easier. And actually ExxonMobil played a big role as a consultant in that with us as to making sure that that would meet some of their vision that was being outlined as to how to make things progress. So everything we do now, like our wireless initiative, as we do new developments in the control system, we're always taking it from the perspective of we need to do something that either makes life easier or eliminates work, but for sure does not add new work processes or be something that a customer would have to add more people to take care of because they just don't have the ability to do that anymore.
I understand. Now, you mentioned wireless. Certainly your company is a leader, without a doubt, in the process market in terms of wireless developments. At your customer organized event last year, you presented a concept of pervasive sensing, which was really built on wireless. And this conference is focused on the Internet of Things. Can you talk about what's the same and what's different between those two concepts, your concept of pervasive sensing and the Internet of Things?
Yes, they're really very highly related. I find it a little amusing that whenever somebody talks about the Internet of Things, they really don't talk much about where is all this new data going to come from these new things that are on the internet or that are providing data. And the answer to that question is, well, it's going to come from sensors, right? Everyone talks about we're going to get more data on the equipment status, we're going to get more data on corrosion, reliability information, we're going to get more data on energy consumption. Well, all those things require sensing. And that really was what the pervasive sensing strategy is all about, is the fact that we see this explosion of new sensing and new information that people are going to ask for. So one way to think of it is, we're putting the data in big data with this pervasive sensing. And, we make a lot of things for the Internet of Things, the sensors that actually are networked and smart. So they're very highly related. And really, it's us talking about our part in that Internet of Things and providing the data that goes into it.
Well, you've been investing in wireless for a number of years and made some pretty major initiatives in developing that kind of technology and putting it into a lot of your product line. Going forward, can you name one or two areas where you think you're going to be focused on investment in terms of Emerson Process Management?
Well, as we just discussed, pervasive sensing is very much one of the big areas we'll be investing in going forward. And we kind of talked about the wireless technology as a technology for a number of years, but that's now basically pretty well established. We don't feel like we need to talk about wireless per se any more than we need to talk about 4-to-20, or field bus or another communication technology. Now what we're focusing on are a whole new world of sensors that in most cases wireless will enable because it will be the most cost-effective way to install them, but a whole new world of sensors that are measuring new variables, that I said, like as I mentioned earlier, that are not maybe process related, but are lots of other equipment in the areas of environmental or safety or equipment reliability or whatever those other business critical type applications may be. And those sensors will be new technology. A good example is our steam trap monitoring sensor that we just released, which uses acoustic technology. And another big driver will be to make sensors that are non-penetrating, because nobody really wants to go in and have to make a process penetration to install new sensor devices. So that is probably the single biggest area we're investing in, but we're also investing in new complete application solutions, such as our essential asset monitoring solutions that kind of build on top of that sensor platform or those sensors I just described and add the domain expertise in the form of applications to wrap it all together in a complete solution for the customer.
Okay, well, one thing that's certainly a trend in the industry is that end user manufacturers and process manufacturing industries are looking to suppliers like Emerson to give them increasing levels of support through design and build and also through the O&M phase of a plant or asset. So what are you doing, or how do you see that developing for you guys in terms of supporting, increasing support levels for your customers through the whole life cycle?
So on the design and build side, I'd say that's a pretty just straightforward continuing increase on the demand for project service personnel from us and project personnel to be involved in FEED, design studies and such. So a good example is, we just announced how we're the main automation supplier for the BP Whiting refinery that just converted to being able to take advantage of heavy Canadian crude. We had at one point in time, I think up to 75 folks on that site from a project point of view, assisting in that big conversion and cutover. So that's kind of a very logical, straightforward expansion. On the operate and manage side, what we see happening is we're doing things like providing more reliability solutions where we may offer services to remotely monitor their control system or remotely monitor some of their equipment for vibration, or provide them with tools to do that themselves. But from a service point of view, if they don't have those people, then we'll come in and actually offer as a service, doing that for them ourselves. We're doing that with a refinery in California, for instance, where our local business partner there, Caltrol, is monitoring their valves and figuring out which ones need to come out when they do a turnaround. And that's something that, previously the refinery itself may have done, but in this case, they've fundamentally outsourced it to us.
Okay. Thanks very much, Peter. It's been great talking to you.
Great talking to you too, Harry.
This is Harry Forbes from ARC Advisory Group. My guest has been Peter Zornio, the Chief Strategy Officer of Emerson Process Management. Thanks very much.